What's up, Glenn? How are you?
What's going on?
I'm good. You know, I know it's not the ideal circumstance to have games postponed, but for you guys, is it kind of a blessing in disguise based on everything you kind of been through, no practice time, and now you got a little bit of schedule free up until Wednesday's game?
Yeah, I think so. I was just talking to a couple people about that. Fortunately, I mean, unfortunately, but fortunately, we got, I think we would have played today and tomorrow. Coming up, we've had some injuries, a couple guys sit out of practice, so I think that it just gives us an extra day or two. We had a little home stretch, but it gives us time here at home before we go on the road, take care of our bodies. We got a good practice in today, which was good for us, and we need to learn. I thought we did a good job just focusing and playing with the same intensity that we played the other night against the Knicks. That's how we got to come in at every practice, every game.
And does it feel like, one game, one win can go a long way for this team?
Yeah, I talked to Fox about that before last game. I told him, Luke tells him all the time, he's the head of our snake. But I told him before the game, we really needed this game. We needed a win, and everybody's following your lead, and he told me one win could change everything. And we discussed that. So I'm excited for this team. Hopefully that last game can propel us a couple more wins here.
Marshall.
Hey, Glenn, obviously opportunistic is how you probably look at the way that this has unfolded with the schedule. How much can be done in those 4 days, given where you guys were leading into that win against the Knicks and what you need to work on to get where you need to be for the rest of the season? What can be done in just those 4 days?
Yeah, I think, I think one of the most important things of practice time that you get is obviously defense and, a shell drill being part of that. It's simple things that we need to work on and get better at. I think we all know that. But the more we can break down and teach some of the concepts that we're trying to apply in the games, I think the better for us right now, especially with any young team. So having a couple more days of practice, a couple more days of rest and understanding those concepts will be great for us. And for me, honestly, I just looked after that last game. I seen these next games that we had coming up, right before the Knicks, and we got some winnable games out there. We need to take care of business here in these next couple.
When you look at the way that things have unfolded so far, are you surprised or anything, maybe at how much the rest and having this many days off between games is going to help you? Or is this kind of what you expected the grind to be like?
I think we all expected the grind to be a little bit tougher this year. But I think, even me, I didn't realize, playing every other day, it seemed like we were doing that literally for about, 7-8 games straight, and that's tough. That's tough on your body. That's tough on your mind, especially when you start traveling, the time zone changes and things. And playing on the West Coast, the flights and everything seem to always be a little bit longer. So I think that it can either get you out of rhythm, or if you can stay focused during these practices and get better, I think it could really help you. So with that being said, I think we had so many games, right after each other. This really gave us a little bit of rest and just a little bit of knowledge too.
All right, James.
Hey, Glenn, you talked about De'Aaron saying, hey, we just need one win. Did it feel different today, getting back in the gym together after that victory and sort of having the weight lifted off?
Yeah, I laugh because, the difference of winning and losing, everyone knows. But you walk in that locker room after a win, the way that I always talk about this team, the way the guys, treat each other like brothers, that locker room after a win is completely different. We had a day off yesterday, but if we had practice yesterday, it would have been completely different. Practice today was completely different. A lot of energy, a lot of talking, a lot of trust within each other. The coaches came prepared. So I think that, you never get too high, never get too low in this league. It's just one win. But like I said, we need to go on a winning streak, and it starts with the first one.
Good, James. Okay. We'll go to Christos Altos.
Hello, Glenn. I would like to ask you how important for you is to build on the win against the Knicks, and especially on your defensive approach. How important for you is this?
Yeah, I think everyone, thought defensively we were more active, more aggressive. That's how we have to bring it, night in, night out on the defensive end. I think that also, we kind of learned some things from the Knicks. They're a great defensive team. We knew that coming in. They were on a back-to-back. I thought energy-wise, we tried to really ramp it up and play our game and run the floor. So we seen some highlights. We seen us get out and run the floor like we want to play. And I think that most of those things came from getting stops first. And I think once this team really realizes how stops gets us out to our offense. It gets us the threes that we want to take, the lanes that we want to drive, especially when you got a guy like Fox on the ball, fastest guy on the court, all the time. It's easy for him to get down those lanes. It's easy for him to kick out and pass. HB, when he's driving, he's kicking out. So we flow better as a team when we're in attack mode, but it comes from defensive end first and getting stops first.
Thank you.
Jason Jones.
Hey, Glenn.
How you doing?
All right. Hey, you mentioned about the practice time and getting a chance to work on the schemes and learn, get a better understanding. For a lot of the returning guys, what you guys are doing is different. Based on your time around the league, how different is it from things that you have done, and how long does it take to get what Rex is trying to implement down, you think, for a team?
Yeah, I think every team is different. From just my experience, every defensive coach has their philosophies and run it a little bit different. Rex runs his defense, and he's a pretty intense coach every day, night in and night out. And I think a young group, we need someone like that to bring that intensity. We just have to match it. So I would say some things are a little different, and that's to be expected. But once we can all learn those concepts together and learn where we need to be at on the floor, today practicing things like, inching out on shooters when we do have the ball contained within our 5 and our point guard. If they're in the pick and roll and they got to contain, we need to kind of inch out and not let teams get off corner threes or threes that they're putting up on us. So just knowing when to help, knowing when not to help, being there for each other. Rebounding is a big thing we learned from last game and we went over today. I think that's the biggest thing. We get stops and we're able to rebound the ball, then we're able to run. But today, modern day basketball, sometimes we're playing small. Sometimes we don't have 2 bigs in there to rebound. So we have to learn how to collectively do it, help each other out. Corey might be stuck on a big. I need to go help him and box out. Those are things that we have to be tied together on and learning. And it's tough when you have a young team sometimes, but I think that we're doing a great job of coming in and willing to learn these past 2 days.
All right, go back to Sean Cunningham.
Glenn, I wanted to ask you about Harrison. I know that, he'll say that the difference between his last 2 games wasn't much. I mean, he approached the game the same way, but obviously he looked to be more of an offensive threat in the last game. And it seems like every game you guys have had success is games where he's looking to score. How much do you kind of need that from him? Sometimes he looks to be too much of that good teammate as opposed to be a little bit more selfish.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Harrison's like a big brother to me. I mean, and I'm one of the oldest guys around here, but he's big bro to me. Every day we come in and we're talking the game, we're talking off the court stuff, and he's really helped me and pushed me in different ways. And I see why he's a leader that he is. But one thing I noticed about Harrison, he comes in every single day and he prepares himself, game day, practice day, the same. He comes in, he puts in his work, he goes in the weight room, takes care of his body, eats the right way. He approaches every game the same. He had 30, he approaches the same. He had 6, he approaches the same. And that's what you have to respect about a leader and about a guy. And we talk about not getting too high, not getting too low. I've never seen Harrison, have a bad day since I've been here. So I don't think that he's a guy that necessarily cares about points, but to your point exactly, when he's in attack mode, when he's looking to score, and what I've noticed is when he gets to the paint and he gets his Euro on and he's in there, he's kicking out. I've hit a lot of corner threes, a lot of plays off of that. And we seem to ignite and get better shots, better quality shots, ball moving more when he is in attack mode. So I think that's key for us. That's very important for us. And along with that, he's one of our most trusted defenders, both sides of the ball. He's playing hard every single night. So as my job backing him up, coming off the bench, I want to continue that energy, continue doing what he's doing on both ends of the court and give him a break, because one game he played 40 minutes a night. He's not going to be able to do that every night. A lot of guys aren't. I have to come in ready and do my job along with everyone else. So I think that we talk about De'Aaron a lot being ahead of that snake. Harrison's right there as well. I don't think that this team operates without him as well.